Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Google PostMaster. Google PostMaster is very important because that's how you can monitor your IP reputation, domain reputation, and even the spam rate. And those are very important metrics that you're going to be using to configure and continue to monitor and maintain your email deliverability. So let's go to my computer and I'm going to show you. Alrighty, so this is Google PostMaster. And once you are here, what you need to do is press Get Started, okay? And then you will be able to get into this page. Just press plus, and then you'll be able to put your domain there. So for me, I'm going to configure this domain. This is just a random domain I have. So this is a domain that I'm not using at the moment. So I'm just configuring that from scratch so you can see how this is done, okay? So now it's saying that I need to verify my ownership. I am going to copy this. I'm going to go back into the DNS settings and I'm going to create a txt file. And I'm going to put this there. This can just be @ and I'm going to save this. Keep in mind that it can take up to 24 hours for this to synchronize. It might not work straight away. I'm going to hit verify. Sometimes it works straight away, sometimes it doesn't. Let's have a look and see what's going to happen today. So as you can see here, the verification record was not found. You might need to wait a few minutes before Google sees your change in the TXT records. So we need to wait, okay? So while we wait, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into GoHighLevel and I'm going to add this domain in there under email services. And the reason for that is because I will add the Google PostMaster into GoHighLevel, so then we can actually monitor directly from GoHighLevel. Okay, so I'm going to create a dedicated domain. Let's go with mail dot. Gonna add and verify. And since GoHighLevel has the capability of synchronizing with Cloudflare, it will do all the work for me, which is great. So I pretty much just need to wait until this is done, verify records, and it will ask me for verification. So auto configure DNS, there you go. And then it should do all the configuration automatically for me. So now I can just verify. Once again, it takes a bit of time. I can go back in here, refresh, see if the records are there. So we should have the records added. So it looks like it didn't work, which is fine. So we're going to be doing that manually. And that's pretty much it. So now we can go back and ask it to verify the records. And while this happens, let's go back to Google PostMaster and verify that and see how it goes as well. So sometimes we just need to say not now and then find the one that we just created, which is this one. And we can ask it to verify again, right? So yeah, so it can take some time to verify, but it will eventually verify. Same with this one here. And what I wanted to show you is that for this one, we created mail dot the domain itself, right? So here in PostMaster, we added this one, which is the domain. So once we are able to verify this one, we will need to go back, press here, and then add mail dot, and then the actual domain itself. But we can't do that until we add the domain and have the domain verified, right? So let's go back in there. So if I try to do it now, I probably won't accept it because we don't have the domain. Oh, it's letting me do it. It's good. So let's add this one as well. And it's going to be txt. and we're going to save this one. So then now it's just a waiting game. We just need to wait until those two domains are verified. So now I've got amplifywave.com and mail.amplifywave.com. Just keep in mind that we're going to be sending emails from this one for this demo. And then that's the one that we are going to be monitoring. Okay. So sometimes what I do, I would just go and edit today, and then I come here tomorrow and I can pretty much just go verify domain. So if I go into this particular domain, right, you're going to see this. So no data to display at this time. And the reason for that is because I'm not sending emails from this particular domain. So then you should expect to have no data there whatsoever. So once you have this configured, it's going to take about a week, sometimes 2 weeks, for you to be able to see some data in here. And the way it's going to look like is like this, right? So you're going to check, for example, the spam rate. And the spam rate in here, you don't want it to be more than 0.6 at any given time. If it's 0.6, it means that a lot of people are actually reporting your emails as spam. And this is really bad because this will detriment your IP and domain reputation. Okay. So if you send an email, it's worth going to Google PostMaster a day or two later, so then you can actually see how it is in terms of spam rate. Okay. You will be able to see this information inside of GoHighLevel as well, but it's good to have this so you can confirm everything. The other thing that we want to check in here is the IP reputation. So for the IP reputation, you want it to be high, okay? But at times it will fluctuate between medium and high. This is absolutely fine. You can click here and you can see a longer timeline, for example, 120 days. And then you're going to be able to see how it was. So this is one of my clients, okay? And then if you go into domain reputation, once again, you're going to be able to see how is the domain reputation, okay? And in this particular case, it's median, right? So as long as it's either median or high, usually you are good. And it's the same thing with the IP reputation. As long as it is either high or median, you're going to be fine. So as soon as you start seeing the lows and the bads, that's when you know that something is wrong. Just so you know, for the spam rate that's directly attached to the emails that you're sending out, the IP reputation is going to be the IP reputation that is used by GoHighLevel, in this case Mailgun, because that's the backend. And the domain reputation is going to be your actual domain reputation, okay? So usually the way it works is if you're doing a good job and you've got a good reputation, the provider that you're sending emails from will give you or will actually put you in a pool that has got good IP reputation as well, right? So if you have a good domain reputation, usually you're going to be put in a pool, in a shared IP pool, where you're going to have a good IP reputation as well, okay? So it's very important that you look after your domain reputation and the email deliverability and check those things, right? And then you got some other things in here, but for the most part, you don't need to worry too much about them. I'm just going to change that to 7 days so it's quicker to show. So this one, don't worry too much about that. The only other one that I wanted to show you is the authentication, okay? So you want to make sure that, like, can you see this dip? So this is bad. We don't want that to happen. We want it to be like this, right? So 100% success, DKIM, SPF, and DMARC. Those are the authentication protocols that ensure the emails are getting delivered correctly, and this really helps a lot. So if this happens, it means that there was a change in DNS records, something has been changed in the backend, and usually this is a bad thing if it goes on for too long. As you can see here, it was just for I believe a few hours. maybe no, a few days, actually 2 days. So it's fine, right? But you don't want it to be unprotected or or go for too long. Okay. And the last thing that I want to show you here is the delivery errors. So if you see delivery errors here, you need to go and investigate and see what's happening, right? And that's why it's very important to have the Google PostMaster set up correctly here. So in here, if we go back to email services, let me just click out and click back in email services. You can go into email analytics, actually PostMaster Tools, apologies. Then you're going to click connect to Google PostMaster. And the reason why there is nothing here is because we haven't actually verified the email. It can take some time for the email to be verified. But once we verify the email, we're going to be able to connect to Google PostMaster, and then we can actually see how the email deliverability is. So let me see if I can show you in a different account. There you go. So I have the Google PostMaster connected, right? And then I've got here mail.salestools.com. So if I press view details, we're going to be able to have a look into the domain reputation. So this is for my business. As you can see, the email reputation is high. IP reputation, nothing showing there, which is a bit weird. And then user reported spam, 0, which is amazing. Spam feedback, there's nothing there. It is 100% authenticated, and traffic is 100% encrypted, which is fine. Don't worry too much about that. And we shouldn't have any errors in there. Okay. So you can see everything inside of GoHighLevel. So this is super powerful. And then from here, you can take decisions. Okay. Make decisions about what's happening. So for instance, let's say you came into the spam rate and the spam rate is above 0.6%. Let's say it's 3. I have seen clients with 5% reported spam. So this is really, really bad. And if this happens, you need to stop sending that particular email that is causing problems. Okay. And if you want to send new emails, you need to identify what was the cause, right? So maybe you sent something to a particular segment and they're not interested, or you haven't actually been sending emails to that particular segment for a very long time. So then they're not expecting this email, and then they're like, well, this is a spam. I never asked to receive this, right? So you need to be very careful, but then looking at the reports here, you can see what's happening. So if you have a problem with emails going to spam, you will probably come in here and then you will see that your reputation is probably bad or low, and the same would be happening with the domain reputation. Okay, it would probably be low or bad. Okay, and if you have a problem with emails going to spam and you come here and you look at these and you're like, oh, okay, the domain reputation is low or the IP reputation is low, and the spam rate is pretty high, so it makes sense, right? So then you need to go and look after your email reputation. You might need to set up the authentication correctly. You might need to set up engagement tracking. You might need to go into GoHighLevel and change and fine tune things there. I have actually created another video just on email deliverability, and it's got like a checklist and everything about what it is that you need to do in order to fix those issues. And I have left the link in the description. Cool. So I hope you have appreciated this video. I hope that helps. And let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, and we'll take it from there. See you in the next video.